want to know why men die sooner? That's why.
Picking up some big boys.
It's dark in here. Ta-da! All right, welcome back to the channel, and today I have to take a quick break from this because I've been doing so much welding, so much grinding, and everything else. As you can see, this thing has spray and insulation, and it is just holding in all the smoke, all the dust, all the smells, and it is giving me the crusty metal boogers every single night, even if I'm not really grinding that much. As you can still see, there's still a haze up here, and so I need to put a fan in that ceiling. I've been running this fan that I bought from Harbor Freight, and it works fine. I've been blowing it up and then opening up the garage door and letting it kind of shoot out, but it's still getting caught up in the ceiling. So I need to get a fan in here, get this thing to air out and make my life a little bit better. Plus we got to do some organization here. I got these racks from my buddy Patrick. If you guys watch Grind Hard Plumbing at all, one of their newer guys that they hired up, Patrick, he's a little hippie dude with long hair. He's actually from here in Farmington. He just moved up there with his wife, and they are gonna be building rad stuff with the Grind Hard guys. I got these old racks from him. I'm gonna turn these into pipe racks. Actually, I'm gonna turn these into tubing racks, but with pipe, because pipe was cheaper. So I bought some pipe, and we're gonna weld these on and make some tubing racks. Because I need to find a place to store this tubing, and this tubing, and this tubing. All right, how long are these racks? I don't even know how long they are. 41 and a half-ish, 42. I don't just want to throw this thing, just throw 2 pieces of pipe up here and just hold all of this together. I'd like to separate 1 3/4, 1.5 inch, DOM, HRU, all the different things that I got, and then maybe miscellaneous on one end or whatever. But I do want to try to have it to where they're somewhat organized. So if I just go 16, 24, like the 8s. We'll just go with the 8s. Now that I got these marked, I got places that I need to grind off this old paint. I kind of played around with heights here. I chose to go 18 inches, 1.5 feet up. That way I have enough room if I got a bunch of tubing in one order, because that seems to be the only way you can buy it affordably, I can have it stacked up in here and be okay. Here's how I'm gonna do it. Instead of just measuring every single piece, because I gotta make so many, I measured 18 inches from the blade to the metal support of my garage door. Now, I can just set it to here, and there's my 18 inches. I got my magnetic 90s holding them vertical this way. I got my angle finder on here to make sure they're vertical this way. We'll start tapping them in. Not perfect, but close enough for a pipe rack. Now it's just a wash, rinse, repeat for the other one. Ta-da! Bam, bam. Do, 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 do. And it's already getting hard to breathe in here, but it's windy outside. Ooh. Look at all the smoke just exiting. All right, so I got the racks around back, and I got Shanna here to help. We'll grab 1 3/4 now. You think you can do 3 of 1 3/4? Yep. Okay, strong wife, happy life. All right. The nice thing about this is the 2 most sizes of tubing that I use are 1 3/4, 1.5 inch. So I can go HRU, HRU, DOM, DOM. Anything else, I'll put in this last rack out here for all those little pieces that I got, like 1 1/4, 1 inch, all the pieces for gussets and things like that. Shanna helped me get all these back here. Now I have most of this tubing out of my way, out of my shop, out of my driveway, Now, one of the things that you might be wondering is, isn't it going to get weather beat? Well, I live in the desert. It doesn't rain here much, and when it does, it doesn't last very long. It is nothing like South Dakota where things just rust sitting there. Worst case scenario, I come out here with WD-40 Big Blast and just blast all this stuff every now and again just to keep all that cosmoline or whatever they put on these on there. It's still really slimy. I mean, you can see how dark my finger got just touching it. So I don't think it'll go too bad. I mean, heck, this is a piece of steel I got from Patrick as well, and this was sitting on the ground in his back 40 there for like years, and it's not even that bad. I'd say we're in okay shape. Don't need the tumble and tumbleweed, but I do need the ladder. So now that we got all of my floor cleaned out, where I have actual space to get around stuff, now I can work on this and get old Smoke Central cleaned out. What I got here is a 24x24 exhaust fan, if I remember if that's the size. This is an eBay special. You can see here that it's nothing super fancy, and the fan blades, or the blades here I meant for the vents, they are very mediocre at best. They don't seal up great. I don't know if they make ones that do seal up great, but this is what I could afford. So I got to figure out how to get this in. I've never done this before. First thing I know is I need to measure this box, double check myself, and start figuring out where I need to cut that hole. Might be a 24x24, but this thing's about 24.25. And the same this way. That's good to know. 28.5, by probably the same. 28.5. Yeah. I'm assuming this part mounts to the sheet metal, so I know that I need to at least have this opened up on all of that spray foam. We'll go with red today. So what I did is I cut this piece of box at 28.5 inches. That's the width of the square, the flange that it actually mounts. That's how much of this I'm gonna have to cut out. So then I took that 28 inches, marked my center line in the center of the shop here, and then came out 14.25 and made my square. So never mind this line, that was a mistake. That's the correct line. Now we gotta go ahead and cut all of this stuff out just to get the foam out, and then I need to cut out my 24.25 all the way around here. All right, it's hard to tell in all the smoke, but I have the inner square cut out and then the outer square marked out so that we know what we need to cut and then what we need to just trim the foam on, so that this can stick through with this behind it. All right, so I'm not really sure what the best way is to cut this spray foam out, but I'm gonna try this Roto Zip and a little oscillating tool here and see if that does a good job. I don't know until I do it.
Here's what I see Colt doing a lot. He says he does it so that it doesn't come unplugged. So you just tie a knot in it and it keeps the extension cord and the plug together. So do you guys do this, or do you have a different way from keeping the cord coming unplugged?
I just realized since I marked all the foam, I want to go ahead and drill the corners out for each one of my corners that that piece comes out with. That way, once I cut all this foam out, I don't lose my marks. Hello. All right, so I got all my trim lines around the square and then around where I actually got to cut it out and the foam part. I think I'm gonna go outside and take a look and see what we got going on here. Should have, oh yeah, see there's my holes. Boomity boom, boom, boom. Now I can go ahead and just cut it out from up here. Okay, I have kind of a problem. This ladder, even though it's big, it's a 12-footer, is not gonna get me up there to drill that out. So that's gonna be a little bit sketchy. Shanna cannot hold my body weight up. We've tried that before rock climbing, and I fell and she went to the sky and I came down. So what I think I need to do here is go find another ladder, see if I can find one that's taller, that's gonna help me out, be a little safer. Otherwise, I might just back a vehicle up here, I don't know. I guess I could try that too. All right, I'm gonna try one thing and see if it works, so it'll save me money. I'm gonna have Shanna back up here, and I gotta move this ladder out of the way. Turn passenger. There you go, that's good. Come on back. Keep coming. Stop. You wanna know why men die sooner? That's why. Well, I tried turning the ladder around thinking that I'd have a better chance of getting into it, but I'm actually farther away from the wall. I'm still not very close to the wall. I really just need a longer ladder that I can lean up against the wall so that I can cut this out. But at least kind of have my hole marked. So yeah, I think we're gonna run into town. I'm gonna try to find a bigger ladder because I don't think this is gonna work the way I want it to. And I started today pretty late because I was editing a video this morning, and as you can see, it's already starting to get kind of dark. I don't really want to have a hole in my wall in the nighttime, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the ladder, and then we'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, so some of the other things I remembered that I forgot is sheet metal screws to screw things in. So I gotta figure out what I need over here. Looks like the shortest one they got is 8 foot. So one thing I can tell you, when you're looking for this stuff, you're never gonna pronounce the L harder when you ask somebody where you can find the Colt at. My quality bag broke.
He's such a dork.
All right, new morning, and one of the things that I didn't get last night was a ladder because holy Toledo, ladders are expensive. So I went on the old marketplace and found one. Let's get started. Oh yeah. That must be why it was a $20 ladder.
Hi there.
Hey. Boo-boo showed up.
Yeah, you gonna hang out with this?
Are you sweeping up the mess? Are you getting it all?
Are you a little broom master? Yeah.
It's like, I guess. Is my shop dirty? You gonna clean it for me? I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hyper dog. Now what I'm gonna do is take these two galvanized pieces, put the one up top, one on the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and sheet metal screw it from the outside in, and that's gonna hold this thing together, kind of building a frame around the window opening. I really don't know what I'm doing. This is just what I think I should do. Hey, what are you guys doing up here? Feel like a bird. Caw-caw. Now I need to build some structure this way. I don't have any more of this box, so I'm gonna use this C-channel, and I'll just set it in like that, and screw it in. Hope that it works. There's a little structure. I'd say that drill bit, or this one wasn't good. Every now and again, one of these self-tappers aren't self-tapping. Oh yeah, look at that. I've also found sometimes this galvanized steel has hard spots in it that doesn't like to work in our favor, which I just found. I'm gonna have to get a drill bit. All right. 2 for 2. No good. All right, so we got our pieces in here. Now I need to get my trim, I think. I need to get a measurement for this, and then we'll figure it out. All right, so I need to go about an inch past each way, or half an inch. All right, yeah, gotta get this plastic coating off of here. Then I think, it's a big thing, but I think I got it right. So this is gonna sit in behind the wall. This is gonna be your J channel. And then you have a kick down here that's gonna go down so that when you put your lower pieces on, the water will run down this and out and not into the shop. So hopefully I did that right. And I think I might have gotten ahead of myself a little bit with putting those braces up, because I think I needed to get these on before I put those wall braces in. Oh well, we'll do it now.
Whoa. All right.
Guys afraid of heights? All right. Well, those were fun to get to. I used this, but we're able to get it in. Now I just got to do the same here. I'll come down with these. These will go straight down, and then this one will be the bottom. This way the water drains off, down, and straight out. Hopefully. All right, top one rolls over, water runs down all the way through, and then this is inside, so it shouldn't theoretically catch water. I'm gonna go ahead and get the caulking, and we will do this whole thing inside here, and then on the outside I'll run it around the rim of that. And let's see if we can shove this fan up in here. Grab all my tools. Ugh. So you know, if you don't use the entire tube, a lot of times you're looking for a screw or a nail or something you can shove in there, and then you have to pull it out, and half the time it doesn't work. Here's something that has worked for me in the past, and all I do is take some blue tape and fold it up around it and then seal it off. And that way it's actually sealed up, the blue tape comes off easy, and I saved what's left of this tube, because I still got quite a bit. I went ahead and bought some sponge seal. It's a little bit different than the foam seal. It's like more of a sponge, so it has a better water resistance and better temperature resistance. So I went ahead and put that in, put my split at the bottom here, and went all the way around, right back to here. I hope that that will do enough for what I need. Now let's get this thing up there. Oh man, that's blinding. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a fan. That's what I used right there. The last piece to this puzzle is in this. All right, now, fortunately, I already have a plug routed here, so I don't have to wire this into a box or anything like that. I just got to wire the plug up. To my knowledge, you are not supposed to solder together 110 stuff because it gets too hot and it can melt the solder. At least that's what I've been told. Don't know if that's true or not, but I'd much rather solder it because I think it looks better, but we will wire nut it. Odds are high this thing's gonna get run a lot. Something like that. But I am still gonna tape it up just for my own sanity. See what it does. Yeah, that thing looks good from up here. Moment of truth. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, it's working. That means now, if I'm trying to get all the nasties out of here, I can kick this one on. And it's gonna blow it right up in there and right on out. I'm gonna be able to breathe in here again. Oh yeah. Get all that nasty out of my garage. Woo. Man, I can tell you it smells so much better in here. I can breathe in here. Makes me happy. Now, if you guys remember when I was working on this thing, I had ordered some hood pins. I thought that the plate was really nice and a nice strong plate. Ended up being fake hood pins. So it's like imitation make to look like hood pins, but the plate is still a nice little piece of billet aluminum. So I went ahead and ordered another $9 set and got actual hood pins. The difference with these is their plate is basically just a glorified chintzy washer. So I'm gonna use those plates with these hood pins. Maybe we'll have something awesome. The imitation hood pins actually came with cables, so you can mount it here and then up above on your clip. That way you don't lose your clip. It's probably the #1 thing that people lose when they have their hood pins, is they lose their actual pin. All right, so the way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna pull this clip out. There we go. And I pulled it out of there. That way I can try to move it forward enough to get this cable on and just pull it back in there. There we go. Now we shouldn't lose the hood pin. All right, so I'm gonna set this hood down and kind of eyeball where I want this pin to be. So kind of looking like maybe right there. It's kind of awkward because of location and everything else, but I think that's gonna be our sweet spot. I think that'll be high enough. I gotta remember that it's gonna be threaded in. It's gonna be really close. Hope I don't have to weld a plate in there. Starting point. Okay, because this thing is so short, I don't really trust it getting all the way through the hood, and I don't want to have to order a third hood pin. So I'm going to try to weld a nut on here, and then we'll see if I can actually get it on. Normally when you set this up, you're gonna go a nut on the bottom, the plate that you're on, and then a nut on the top that sandwiches it in. In this case, because I'm worried I don't have enough height, I drilled the hole out, but I'm gonna weld the nut right on top, and then I'll put the other nut on top of it to lock it in. We'll see if it works. All right. Look like they're about at the same angle. Let's see what they look like here. Then I just need to get a mark on them, which my brother got me these fancy things. I might be able to get up in there with that. All right, let's hope that's the center. Moment of truth here, when I go up to the next one, I can't fix it if I mess up because this thing's aluminum. All right, stent bit's the easiest way to get this. That should be big enough. I'm gonna check these lower holes, make sure it clears it. Yeah, that went through. That went through. That's a good sign. Now, kind of got an idea of where this is. It's got to be right at the edge of this thread like I thought. And then we'll cinch it down and see what it does. Doesn't feel like that's going to go anywhere. Alright. Got to cut out the fake so we can install the real. Fake. This is usually how you end up stabbing yourself. Come on. There we go. Alright. Now, set that on there. I actually kind of like that idea better than the little 4 screws that they usually give you. Having double-sided tape with a thicker plate seems smarter. And now, the hood, it won't come off, which is good because I don't think I'm going to drive it out to Sand Hollow. So, don't need this thing going on the highway. And I still got plenty of sheet metal screws left over, so I'm going to use that. Put our clamp down on. Perfect. Sure, I'm glad I did it the way I did, because otherwise this wouldn't work. Boom. All right, well, we appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you want to get on the website and get yourself some merch, you know, zip-up hoodies, that time of year. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye.
Please make sure to like and subscribe.